Big gar. Very big gar. Big old short nose. There we go. Alright guys, so this is a short nose gar catch, clean, and cook video. These are kind of an overlooked fish. A lot of people turn their noses up to them, but in all reality they're one of Missouri's best eating fish. They're just not a very popular fish. So I want to show you how to do this the right way. There's a misconception that these things are full of bones, and that's really just not the case. They do have bones just like any fish, but the meat has almost no bones. So I want to show you how to do this right. I already dispatched him. Take a moment here to appreciate these teeth and just the way these fish look. These things are awesome. Just prehistoric beasts. So they have armor plating on them. These things are like tanks. So what you want to do is get a cut around the head. You can hear those scales crunching. They're very difficult to penetrate these. Then you want to go down along the backbone. I'm just cutting through the scales here, and it takes kitchen shears to get through this thing. These are tough. Sometimes I almost think it's easier to take the fillet knife and work down like this. Just get a little progress and then pivot up. So when I get to this back fin here, I'm going to go around both sides of it. If I can. I'm definitely cutting through armor plating, so it's a little tough. There we go. Now what you want to do is take your fillet knife and get under these scales here. Try and get between the flesh and that armor plating. If you can get in close here, you can see how I'm separating these scales from the meat there. Sorry about the neighbor's dog, that is unavoidable. Pretty much just peeling off these scales like a shirt. Trying to unwrap it. And what you're left with is two beautiful long fillets of meat. I don't know if you've ever had alligator, but gar meat reminds me more of alligator meat than it does fish. Alright, so we got this guy to where his scales are pretty much off the meat. We're going to come down this backbone here. And we're going to take both of these fillets. They have ribs that run all the way down to the bottoms of their tails. You can see here. You can hear them. All the bones are down below this meat. A lot of people think that these gar are like carp. Then they have bones all through their meat. That's definitely not the case. This is all just boneless fillet meat here. And it really hasn't taken me that much time to get it off this fish. There's one side. Well, that's about as white a meat as you could ask for. Very firm. Texture kind of like spoonbill. Flavor kind of like alligator meat. That's my impression of gar. Let's get the other side off here. There we go. Two beautiful fillets or tenderloins of short-nosed gar meat. That's all there is to it. Don't be scared of it. Next time you catch one, try this. I got half of this short-nosed gar here. This is one of the fillets. It's a pretty large fish, so I'm only going to cook half of it right now and save the other half for later. But it's had a good rinse. I let it soak in the fridge for a day, and it's looking really good. You can see that meat. It's super white, very dense meat, pretty steaky stuff. So very delicious stuff here. Just like any fish, gar also have a lateral line, a little bit of red meat. So I'm just going to take a second here, and there's really not a whole lot of red meat on a gar, but the little bit that there is, I'm just going to trim off. But just like a catfish or a white bass or anything like that, I usually go ahead and just trim that red meat off. There we go. Easy as that. Alright, the recipe I'm going to do here is pretty basic. I'm just going to chunk it and fry it. I have a little bit of Zatarain's here. Just Zatarain's fish fry. We're just going to chunk this meat up. I like to do pretty good sized chunks because I like to actually taste the fish and not just breading. I do chunks about like that. You can see the texture in there. Good looking stuff. Shake that up super good. This stuff looks and smells amazing. I want to show you guys the texture of this. It's very, very dense meat, very steaky. I mean, it's almost like pork, kind of dense. So I have some homemade spicy fish dip that I make. We're just going to dip that in there. That is really, really good. Some of the best fish that we have in Missouri. It's very difficult to beat this kind of fish. This gar, long nose and short nose gar, both amazing to eat. Don't turn your noses up to them. Give them a try. You're gonna like it. Thanks for watching.